Look at us, eh? Who would have thought? Who would have thought it would have gotten to this point that the Vancouver Canucks had themselves an informal practice at UBC? And we're making a video about it. Man, it's been an entire summer. It's the beginning of September. There has been nothing else to talk about. So now that the Vancouver Canucks are on the ice and they're practicing in Vancouver, oh yeah, it's our time to go out there and talk about it. So big shout out over to Brendan Batchelor. Everybody loves Batch and his commentary. He does a fantastic job because he went out there and tweeted out all of the interesting little tidbits of information from today's informal practice at UBC. Take a look at this. Batch tweeted out earlier this morning that Artur Silovs and Jiri Patera were the two goalies working on the ice today with Marko Torenius ahead of the informal Canucks skate. So yeah, Silovs, man. He's out there. He's working. Nice to see that the Canucks Latvian backup projected goaltender actually is healthy and alive and doing his thing and maybe not suffering from as much inflammation as we were led to believe. I'm not saying that he had a huge workload today, but I am saying that he did participate, which is good to see and certainly not a step indicative of somebody who is hurt too badly. Jiri Patera also was there as well, so good to see him getting some reps. Skaters trickling onto the ice, Hoglander, Friedman, Carlson, Oman, and Arshdeep Baines. Tolopilo was here now too. Yes, this thread will just be a roll call. That's okay, Batch. Sometimes a roll call is important. Hronek, Juleson, Susie, Sprong, Miller, Besser, Pettersson, DeBrusk, Tyler Myers, Christian Wolanin, Derek Forbort. The session is getting underway now. Looks like 17 skaters and 3 goalies unless there are any late arrivals. So this was the roster, guys. Interesting to note that the captain, Quinn Hughes, was not there. Teddy Bluger also wasn't here either, but there was an entire thing about the Canucks' new away jersey sponsor that Bluger was a part of, so maybe that's why he didn't participate in this informal skate for the Vancouver Canucks. But that's a pretty good roster, I'd say. Miller, Besser, Petey, DeBrusk, good group of forwards. Nice guys on the blue line there as well. New Canucks skills and skating coach Jason Krog is running the informal skate, so nice to see newer guys being given opportunities to take charge with this hockey team. Looks like Arshdeep Baines is changing numbers. He is wearing Matt Sundin's old number 13. Baines is not the only NHLer around to change his number to 13. Big shout out over to Cole Caulfield in the Montreal Canadiens system, who had done that for Johnny Gaudreau. There are some extra comments as well here that I wanted to go over because this was taken from a Daniel Sprong interview. He says that he and Elias Pettersson are good friends after a happenstance meeting while on vacation a few years ago. Pettersson was one of the first guys to call him after he had signed. And this, of course, is something that I don't think is all too new. We did recognize that there was some sort of a relationship built up between Sprong and Pettersson. Interesting to note that they just happened to be in the same place on vacation a few years ago. So the fact that they were able to connect and just kind of be friends, be chill, and now they're potentially going to play on the same line, oh yeah, that's a huge, huge boost. Let's go over to some of the pictures that were posted here. Vancouver Canucks Twitter account posted the images of the guys over at the informal skate. Let's move that over here. So Myers, DeBrusk, nice to see the guys out there. You have Spronger with, I think that's JT Miller in the background based off of the mustache. Not to mention some of the other names that are rotating around there here too. Danton Heinen, look at that. What a beaut. I actually met Heinen a few days ago at the Troy Stetcher Foundation skate that was going on at Minoru. Had a picture taken with him. He's a pretty interesting guy, a former Richmond Sockeye as well. There also were some other pictures posted like this one by Canucks Insider. Petey and Linus Carlson dialed in today's skate. Had any good Swedish meatballs lately? Yeah, that's totally not what they were talking about, but it is interesting to see the connection there. But I wanted to focus more so on the quote here and the potential line matching with Daniel Sprong, because seeing that him and Elias Pettersson have a pretty good connection, it is kind of, an easy sign to put them together. All of the lineup projections have Sprong and DeBrusk playing with Elias Pettersson, Höglander on the top line with Miller and Besser. Honestly, I'm okay with that. If you wanted to put Pius Suter on the first line as well, that was an okay option. Honestly, this lineup is so stacked. Like, even that fourth line, Heinen, Suter, and Sherwood, I think is better than a lot of NHL teams' third lines. It's so deep, the way this forward core has assembled itself, and this doesn't even include Nils Åman, Phil DiGiuseppe, Jonathan Lekkerimäki, or Linus Karlsson. So there's just depth for days with this Vancouver Canucks forward core. That third line is so strong as well. But this second line right here, you want to talk about Elias Pettersson getting some actually offensively capable wingers to play alongside of? Oh yeah, this certainly does fulfill that role. Pettersson, DeBrusk, and Sprong is certainly going to be a lot more offensively capable than, let's just say, Pettersson, Mikheyev, and whomever else. I mean, you could toss in Kuzmenko in there, I guess, but yeah, he was kind of hit or miss. Pettersson, Mikheyev, and Lafferty, for example. A lot better for Petey. If he's able to get wingers that can actually put the puck in the back of the net and can actually score from distance, Sprong and DeBrusk can both do that, then this could be a match made in heaven, especially if there's already like a connection there. We've seen that Elias Pettersson, for some reason, like, I don't know if this is like a Petey thing or if it's like a general rule of hockey kind of thing, but players like Pettersson play better when they're playing with guys that they're friends with. I mean, the most success that Elias Pettersson has had with a winger has been Brock Besser in the 649 days, Nils Höglander in this most recent season, and that's like pretty much it, I would say. He was good with Kuzmenko last year, but I feel like that was kind of the outlier. Pettersson plays well when he's friends with the guys that he's playing with, and maybe you can say, oh, he's a pro hockey athlete, like he gets paid to do this, he should be good with whomever it is that he plays with. And while I agree with that opinion to an extent, you gotta recognize just sometimes the skill level of the guys around him is not up to snuff. Pettersson is a good enough player, he's a highly paid enough player where he should be able to drive a line himself, but if he's playing with Mikheyev and Lafferty, it's kind of hard to do that. DeBrusk and Sprong are two new guys that have a lot more of an offensive touch, and as a result, it should be giving Pettersson more opportunities at more points. So if Pettersson bounces back from what was a season that you could say was already pretty bad, but still a highly productive one, I mean, who knows where Pettersson is going to go? Petey last year had 89 points in 82 games played, but we still were unsatisfied with that. The fact is, Pettersson himself was also unsatisfied with that. He said in an interview before last season that he wanted to best out his 102-point campaign from 2022-2023. So for Petey to come up short by, 13 points and have himself a pretty good offseason in terms of what the team added, have himself an offseason where now there are some super talented offensive guys on his wings, this is going to be a really good sight to behold for Vancouver Canucks hockey, and I think it's enriched even more when you acknowledge that Sprong and Pettersson are already pretty good friends. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about some of the updates here from Vancouver Canucks informal practice, how we're starting to see a bunch of these guys suit up, and look, we're seeing them get out there on the ice. Artur Silovs is an option, it seems. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about all this stuff here and more. What are your thoughts on the D-core? What are your thoughts on the forward pairings? What are your thoughts on the goaltending? And what are your thoughts on Petey and Spronger? I hope you enjoyed this video, and bye.